What's going on, my people? How are we all? Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe, all the usual things. And yeah, if you can try and help push the channel, that'd be a massive help. RJ asked, the segment I was talking about last week is not going to be here this week. There's a couple of technical issues, but I'm fingers crossed, hoping to have a great guest on there next week. So please watch out for that. Next job you're going to see is the wiring of an underfloor heating system, which I promised a couple of weeks ago. So jump in there, have a look at that. As I say, share it, all the usual stuff would be a massive help. And I'll see you at the end. So here's the heat miser UH1. We're replacing it with the EPH UFH10. It's gonna have 4 zones on it, a smart controller, and hopefully it should wire in easily. First thing I'd recommend doing is tracing your wires that go into your actuator heads, marking out what pipes they go to and noting that down. Ideally leave that with a customer for future so that either yourself or anyone else working on it always knows, because often these don't go in order. So for instance, I've got 1 and 2 here, but that's this pipe and that pipe. So it's not running across together. But if no one's noted it down, you don't ever know. But then we can take them wires out and we know where they're going to correspond to. Then you've got your boiler control, your mains coming in, got your RF receiver there, and then you've got your underfloor heating pump, and the zone valve is not there because it's a combi boiler on this one, but there will be a connection for the zone valve, which is, I don't know on this unit, but on the other unit you will see it. So I'm gonna have to extend this wire out because that needs to get down there. But this one, there's a link from the live to the live supply, a bit like a Worcester, and the live return goes back to the boiler, which is that wire there. Let's put that in there. Got some free core in the van, so I'll extend that from that spur. Wire these in. So there we are, that's all wired in. I've extended that mains cable. We've got the link from the live to the heat output, well input, and then back to the boiler. We've got our pump. That link was already in there for the zone valve. I'm gonna leave that in there, but I'll double check it anyway. And then wired in our zones. So that's all there. Now we'll move on to the stats. There's a little code plug, goes onto there. From this, you set all your times on here, and then the actual units adjust temperature. But because it's got the smart control, they can time and temperature on their phone and app as well. So yeah, we will navigate this in a minute. Once you've got the power on the UFH10-RF, set the time, you need to press menu, you'll get PO1. You turn it twice to PO3. And then you'll be able to set the time. You press the rotator, and it'll come up with the year. 26, 6. Just realised we're in August, not June. I don't know why I've put that. To set up the thermostats that I've got, we need PO1, to connect the EPH UFH10-RF to a thermostat. You need to press the menu button. When you've got PO1, you want to click the dial, select your zone, click the dial again, it'll come up with RF connect. Then you need to get the thermostat. Now we've got that in pairing mode, we need to hold the 3 lines. For 5 seconds, RF and the Wi-Fi signal will come up. Press OK to select it. And that should connect. Tells me we're done zone 2, which is what's there on the other side. So there you go. That was a surprisingly nice job to do. Can be a little bit time consuming sometimes, but on the most part, contrary to what I said about the other wiring centers where they have a PCB, with the underfloor heating stuff, it's actually a lot nicer. It's normally all labeled up, so there's not a massive amount of rejigging things around too much, or not too much having to figure things out for yourself. So yeah, it's generally a nice job to do. The EPH stuff is great. I have to be honest, it's really user friendly, really installer friendly. I've not known of any stats connect that easily to either a wiring center. I always find the heat miser ones can be a pain in the backside, but this was just so simple to use, so I was pleasantly surprised, because I was going to put heat miser stuff in there because that was already what was in, and I was like, no, I do like the EPH stuff, so let me give that a go again. And yeah, as I say, pleasantly surprised by it, so very happy with that. We'll continue to fit those kind of things, and yeah, it's nice. They're just really, I say, for me, the best thing is that they're very installer and user friendly, even down to their app. I have the app as an installer. I set up something for a customer, then I send them a link to log in. When they log in, it kicks me out of the app, so I don't have like control all the time. But even that's really handy. Often you're trying to set things up for customers, and then you've got to walk to various places, walk to the hub, walk to this, walk to that, and they're kind of following you around with their phone, or you've got to log in on on their account on your phone. It's just like chaos sometimes. So the fact that does that is one of my favorite details. I can just set it up in installer mode, send them the link. The minute they log in, it just kicks me out. End of, done. So yes, I'm very happy with them. I would highly recommend them. And that's it. Come back next week for RJ Asks. That is hopefully going to be there. I don't want to make too many promises, but nevertheless, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hype, and hope you're having a great summer.